Hello and welcome to Always with Awareness. I'm Awa Ladmel.
And I'm Douglas Ladmel. And today we want to talk about the very short attention span that we have all gotten our lives into. Just this TikTok, Instagram, quick. We're noticing that our short videos are doing pretty well. We've got one with 5.4 million views, another one with 2.2 million views, and then, but they're short. These long format videos, which I personally think are much more valuable because they have the context, really aren't doing that well. I mean, they're doing great, but 1,000 views, right? Instead of millions of views. So what's happening? What's happening with our attention span?
Well, this one was inspired by my sister today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so hard to always find the content, something to share with everybody that is really relevant to our lives. And today she inspired me because she called me and said, I have my friend who are not understanding the shorts because they, of course, get out of context.
Right.
So I'm like, well, you just have to tell them to go watch the whole video. She's like, I'm ADHD. I don't have a long focus point. My attention span is like a 5-year-old. And of course, you want to please everybody. And I stopped and I said, well, are you asking me to validate your ADHD self?
Exactly.
I said, well, this is the point of this whole work we're doing, is to slow down.
Yeah.
And we are all addicted to the phones. It's a great tool, but it's making us not really taking the time to stop and think. And think what? Think practice. Mm-hmm. You know, we are very easy at listening to something, sending it, sharing it, but not really stopping and say, why am I even watching this and what is the message in this for me? Mm-hmm. I'm from the old school. I like to always ask myself, why? Why am I seeing this video right now? What am I missing? And this is the show that we're gonna commit to that because you are so many that are always saying you inspired us. But I guess we're doing this work because we really take the time. We personally spend 2 hours a day on our personal growth, just sharing.
Yeah, just in a no phone zone of interacting personally.
Absolutely.
And that investment is it's slow. It's like working out. It doesn't show up immediately. It shows up only after years of doing the work.
That's right.
It's funny that we're doing this show because I just listened to another podcast where they were talking about attention span. And so they had an expert on, and she had stated some facts. The average person checks their email 77 times a day. It's studied, and we know that email is stressful, that most people. She brought up that one of the reasons why we are addicted to checking our email is not because of the negative stuff that comes in there, which is happening a lot more often. So you might check your email, get an email from an angry client or from, a friend that's having troubles or anything that causes you to have some stress or feel like, oh, geez, now I'm thinking about this, and track your mind that way. And she said, really, that's not why we're checking our email. We're checking our email for the 1 in 1,000 emails that has a positive news for us.
That's right.
We had got a new client, or somebody's getting married, or something. And so the most addictive thing that we know of, the most addictive, is random positive reinforcement. That's when it's random. It can't be systemized, otherwise we'll just figure out the system. But if it's random, that's why phishing is so addictive, and things that you don't know when that fish is going to hit, you don't know when that good email is going to come, but when it does, it gives you a little hit of dopamine that gets you excited. And so we are living in this world where we're constantly looking for that. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, these short form videos, they're more conditioned to give you a hit of dopamine in a positive way because your feed is going to give you something funny or something interesting to you, a new thing that because the algorithm figures it out. But it's not every video. But it's often. And so it keeps us just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Here's the challenge. How many videos, TikToks and Instagrams have we forwarded to people going, oh, this is great. And yet we never even considered trying it ourselves. Oh, look at this great meditation technique. But we never actually sat down and did it. Right?
Never meditated.
Never meditated. Never tried this diet or this vitamin or mineral or whatever it is. We're just forwarding it like, hey, what a great idea. I'm not going to do it, but it's a great idea for somebody.
That's right.
What's the point of that?
Yeah.
Like why isn't that message for you?
Yes.
Why isn't that my message? Why don't I look at that and go, oh, so what would happen if we only committed to forwarded things that you actually tried or integrated yourself?
Yeah.
And how would that change the way and the energy in which you'd forward a lot less stuff, first of all?
That's right.
But then it would be much more meaningful to you. And then you could tell a story or an experience of your own with the forwarding, saying, hey, I don't forward a lot, but I actually stopped and did this for 10 days. And here's my experience.
Yes.
Now, what are the chances that that impacts the person who's receiving it?
Very big.
Much higher.
Much higher. And that's, I couldn't have said it better, I remember when we shared earlier that we send a lot of people to go see, to attend landmark education.
Yeah.
Like 20 before we even go to it ourselves.
Yeah, right.
And this is to just let you know that each time you are saying, I don't understand it, and it's for her to change her ways, it's you saying, I'm not ready to do my work.
Right.
It's that simple.
Yeah, it's that simple.
And the why. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you stop? Why wouldn't you put it in the calendar? So my sister was amazing today because she stopped and she was like, oh my God, you're right. Like, you're not taking my bullshit. I'm like, no, I'm not taking your bullshit.
Right.
The same way you putting everything in the calendar, put that you're going to watch your sister's show and take the time to watch it and say that to your friends. But I'm really emphasizing in that because I think I owe my own understanding of where I am at or the book that I'm reading, taking the time. This whole journey of I'm missing something, all you're missing is you. And putting everybody else in front of you, that is not helping you or us. Yeah. And I know we all have the right excuse. I have my kids, I have my husband, I have my job. All of that is functioning in the way you are functioning. Mm-hmm. And if you are not taking time for yourself and you are not your priority, again, I can hear you answering already, I don't have the time. It's easy for you to say. But we all have 24 hours. It doesn't matter the speed you're doing things, so intensely or not intensely, you have the same amount of time that we all do have.
Yeah.
So this is just, do I really want to? Is this my priority? Am I going to really take the time to understand why did I subscribe to this channel? What was my first impulse? If your first impulse was like, oh my God, they got something for me, then you want to dig deeper within yourself. There is another thing also, if we have already decided who's the messenger for ourselves, that there is that too. Well, as much as you want it to be this one or that one, is the one you get.
Yeah.
The one you get is the one you get.
Well, and you don't know which the one you're going to get. And it might be exactly the person you never thought is going to deliver that message to you. In fact, they might be the only ones because it's part of the message is the messenger.
That's right.
You don't get the message without the messenger.
No.
So you think, oh, I'm only going to get it from my priest at church or my pastor or my college professor or this big guy online that I follow, I love. That's who I'm going to get the message from. And if they're not saying it, I don't hear it. The reality is it's going to come from somebody in an elevator
that
just says something to you that just hits you and goes, what? Wait, it's going to come from a TikTok from somebody who you didn't expect it to come from, that doesn't look like what you thought the messenger would look like. And that's part of just creating that flexibility of the mind.
Exactly. And the other thing is, not understanding something is a great thing.
I think if we would acknowledge that we don't understand mostly, we are better off.
If you're listening to us and you don't understand it, I'm saying bravo.
Right.
This is the time for you to slow down and to try to understand it. I read recently a doctor who was saying every day learn something and something difficult. And that is better than any vitamins you're taking or supplements, any product you're putting on your face. Is, are you getting to something difficult? Because it's good for your mind. So I would recommend, if you do not get it, ask questions.
Yeah, try to get it. Listen to
Try
it twice.
to get it. Exactly.
Try to put yourself, because the one thing I've learned being married to you is that I didn't get it for a long time. And I still often don't get it. I mean, there's a way in which a certain thinking it goes that is unfamiliar,
That's
that
right.
is different and unique. And what I've learned, though, is to trust that I will get it. And that
right.
when I get it, it's going to make a lot of sense.
That's right.
And so that's the benefit. That's frankly why we're doing this show, is because we know that we're saying things that are hard, that are often just misunderstood or not understood at all, because the thinking that we're coming from is kind of reversed. It's kind of backward in a lot of senses.
Well, the other thing is, we're not getting you either, but we're here
Yeah.
trying to get it. If you only do in life the things that are easy, that validates you, you're just not going to move. It's as simple as that. It's the thing we don't get that are pushing us to think, pushing us to get out of our comfort zone, pushing us to create a time to get it. Those are the things that really moves you. And I think that's a good strength, because that's where I take my strength, I think. I love to not understand and to stick with it.
Yeah.
Really, to really stick with it. Most of the time, I want to drop it. But I'm like, okay, well, if anything, I'm sure if I just stick with it, I'm going to go somewhere. So this was a show about all these likes and all this way of now thinking that is fast. It's just like Insta. Okay, if I don't get it now, move to the other one, move to the other one. It works, of course, until it doesn't work. Yeah. We need time. This is about really understanding ourselves, and we are in parallel with time. When you understand yourself, you understand how important it is. Time is. Time is a very valuable thing, and that's all you have. That's all we'll ever have. So take the time to allocate time to do your own work. And if it's to watch this video for the full length of it and have questions, I really think it's going to be amazing for you. This video or other things. I'm the kind that read the same book for the past 20 years. So I'm not the Insta person, because I don't want to ever think that my knowledge is hindering what I already know. What I'm saying, my knowledge is hindering what I don't know. Yeah. I think I'm living for what I don't know.
Well, you're saying Insta person, but it makes me think of instant oatmeal or instant rice or instant dinner. They're never that good, right? I mean, instant anything is not that great. If you want something to be meaningful and powerful in your life, it's probably not instant. It's probably something that you're going to have to stick with and get through. So I know we all live in a world in which our attention span is pulled so many places.
Yes.
Nobody. We can't go backward. it's here, right? So I'm not giving up my smartphone. I need it. I'm not,
Absolutely.
you shouldn't think I'm telling you to give up yours. No. But there are times that we can do ourselves a service by turning it off or just leaving it in the house and going outside with your wife and enjoying a sunset and talking or having your coffee without your phone, just so that you create the space.
That's right.
I have my email autoresponder on that says I'm going to uncheck my emails at not all the day. So if you send me an email, do not expect an instant response. I'm not checking my email every 5 seconds. I'm not going to check it 77 times a day. I'm going to check it twice a day. I'm going to respond twice a day. And so that's the pace.
That's right.
But what I've learned is that I get to set the pace of my life. So, and it's powerful to communicate that. So when my autoresponder will respond immediately and say, thank you for emailing me. I'm going to check my email, in the afternoon and in the morning. So do not expect an immediate response. What I've learned is that nobody has a problem with it.
No.
Nobody says, well, that's rude. Well, who does he think he is? No, everybody's like, wow, and most of the time I get the comment, that's a great idea. I'm going to copy that.
That's right.
Because we are not efficient when we're constantly interrupted with all of this barrage of, you got to respond to this and that, and then a text, and then you get a direct message and all this stuff. So if nothing else, this is just to stop and think, where in your life could you add some space?
Yes.
The Japanese have this concept of beauty in empty spaces. It's the same with your life. There's beauty in empty space in your life. Just time that you aren't doing anything. And you're just there. And if it's with another human being, it's even more beautiful.
That's right. So again, please go watch the full video. And if you still don't understand what we're talking about, even better, to comment and to ask questions. Because this work of understanding who we are is not happening in an instant way. You really have to dig deep. And it's taking us a lot of effort to just find out what we can talk about today, So you can do it. You really can do it. So this is going to be a short videos, and it's just to address the people that have those questions of like, oh, I don't understand the shorts because I don't have time to go see the video. Well, then maybe later on in your life you'll have the time, and then we'll be welcoming you to do it. If not, well, maybe we are not your teachers, and you need an Insta teacher, and you are not a student to us, because for me, I see everybody as my teacher, and that's the thing of being a student, is to take time to be the student in life. You can't have, if we were only talking about stuff that you already know, already understand, not making you think, I think we'll be just simply boring. So it's not easy. That's the same thing as learning a new language. A lot of people do not want to learn a new language because it takes work. But hey, if you just keep on dialing it, saying the wrong words, sitting there trying to understand it, you're going to end up talking more than one language, more than the one that you're just comfortable with. So that's my answer to that. And thank you again to my sister, who was the inspiration of today.
Yeah, so let's see if you watched the whole thing. Yeah. Well, so yeah, that's it. We're going to keep this one short in honor of the Insta nature of the topic. Really, we appreciate you guys. And comment, like, subscribe. And please watch the whole video. And if you watched a whole video and you found value in it, watch all of them. Go back and see them. And because I think really, if someone asked me, you can either keep doing the Instagram and the TikToks, or you can just keep doing the whole videos, I would do the whole videos. The Insta and TikTok are coming out of the whole videos, and they're only valuable really for people to get to the whole video, because that's where the message is.
Yeah, and this is not just us talking to you and not having a feedback. We're creating here a community of people who are giving themselves to each other, to this message, to this way of communicating, which is missing, really. I mean, people are not talking anymore. At least here we are saying, we're inviting you. We're inviting you to whatever we're talking about. If it's interested to you, take the time to comment, to watch it. I mean, it's like saying, okay, I love these people. I want to friend them. That's it. So if you friend somebody, you want to know who they are. And by knowing who we are, we'll get to know who you are.
That's right.
For sure.
Yeah. So, well, thanks for joining us on this episode of Always with Awareness, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you.
See you.